Star fam, thank you all so much for being here. I would like to say this. I love the fact that the last time we were here, I told you guys that I was basically done, that I would not be doing this anymore. And you all said to me, that's not okay. Please come back. You all were like, yeah, girl, no. Everybody has like been inboxing me on Instagram and it's just like, I know you said that you're done, but we have a lot of stuff to talk about. So you need to get back. So I'm back for now. We will see. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to be able to continue to do this in a way that, you know, works for all of us. So still trying to figure that out. But I love the fact that I tried to quit and you guys were like, yeah, absolutely not. So here we are, friends. Here we are. And if you are new and joining me, timestamps are going to be in the description box below. 15 or so minutes after this review is done, I'm going to spend about 5 minutes saying hi to everybody. And then we're going to get into the review. Hey, Double T, thank you for being here. Hey, India, thank you for being here. Hey, Nikki Mick, how are you? Alex said, hi, Star Fam. I'm so glad you're back, Nikki. I've been watching Love is Blind with my fiance. We have thoughts. Listen, I actually was not going to review this show, but I binge watched it with my sister. And I was like, we have to talk about this. There's so much happening. We have got to talk about it. Hey, Love Like You Are said, hey, y'all, finally catching a live after so long. I'm so excited to hear thoughts on this. Thank you for being here. Hey, Connie. Hey, Denard. Alex said, I'm excited to chat since this is the only reality show I've watched and can comment on since Rachel Lindsay's season on The Bachelorette. Wow, you are a trooper. Hey, Marlene. Marlene said, Nikki, where were you? Missed you. Can't wait to hear what you think about this mess. I tried to quit doing lives. I was taking a much needed break, and I had told the Star family that I was done doing lives, and the Star family said absolutely not. So here we are. Thank you, Marlene. Hey, Caroline. Caroline. Hey, Megan. How are you? Thank you. Hey, NTR. Simply Simone, what's up? So it's only Tuesday, but this is the last week of Black History Month has been wild. I will say a lot of people have been saying this, but I have to agree. This has been the worst Black History Month to date. Like, it's so much has happened. It's a mess. CHG said, happy to catch you live. I didn't expect one of these for a while, so this is a very pleasant surprise. Well, so much is happening. Like, there's nothing that can be done. Like, I can't get out of here. Hey, Ryan. Ryan said Kenneth wanted a Black woman. Okay. Hey, Spency said, hey, NikkiStar and fam, this season is a mess. Can't wait to hear your thoughts. E for Empathy said, hey, Nikki and Star fam, I'm so happy I made this live. Thought I'd never see another one. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Muriel said, hey, Nikki, I was just thinking about you today and wondering where you were going to do a live on this. Thank you so much. Hey, Pi. Hey, Anissa. You're. What's up? Hey, C Golden. Listen, real talk. I'm doing the twist out and my hair is not set yet. So I was like, yeah, I'm not taking this out. So the crown we will do. This is my the headpiece that I wear when I'm doing my makeup routine. So we're going with it. Hey, Nisha, thank you so much. It's 10 p.m., but I'm staying up late for this. You're on the East Coast. What's up? Shout out to my East Coast Star family. Thank you for being up late with me. Megan said, I thought Kenneth and Britney would have been reminiscent of Ryan and Trey from The Ultimatum. Me too. Me too. They fooled me as well. Thank you, Denard. Alg Real 43 said, hiya. You have no clue how I've been psyched for your reaction to this mess. Oh, I love you guys. Really Court now said, Nikki, can we please talk about Matthew? We'll end up on Dateline. I watch enough IG channel to what? Yeah. Hey, Flolo. Hey, Star fam. Hey, Nikki, looking beautiful. Love to miss you. Thank you so much. Hey, Bree Talks TV. Hey, Janelle. Hey, C Golden said, child, my husband is all in. He just asked when the next episode will be available. Tomorrow. And if I have time, I'll do a live for that. I'm not sure yet. Nadi, what's up? Thank you for being here. Way girl, I've missed you too. Connie, thank you so much for. Oh no, did I pack that? Oh, guys. Oh, it's right here. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Connie. So Connie said, yay, alive. I love your life. Thank you so much. Hey, sup, people. Hey, Optics. Hey, KS. Love Like You Are said, all of the leak information that's been coming out about the men is so insane. I fear Love is Blind has to wrap it up. I agree. Sippy Simone says, side note, Real Housewives is back thanks to Portia. It's back. I still think they're holding out for a Phaedra return, but we will talk about that another time. Hey, it's Yubi. Sup, people said, after I saw that quadroom slam, it's been a lot. It's been a lot. Hey, BB. Hey, Tartar. Will be a part of the replay gang. Thank you so much. It's late, mamas, but wanted to say, hey, thank you so much. Efer Empathy said, can we talk about Sandoval for a second? My God, today, I'm not on Black History Month. Shanae said, I'm so happy right now. I didn't know if we would get alive. You guys are amazing. Thank you for bringing me back. Hey, ST, thank you so much. Amazon. Oh, no, not Amazon. You got to go to your local hair store. I go to, when I get my headpieces or my bedazzle hats, they're all from my local hair store in Marietta. Your hair store. They have them all. Or find a church mother who sells paparazzi jewelry. I'm pretty sure she knows where to get these. Hey, Kim. But if I can find this exact one, I will link it in the description box. Hey, sup, people. Wendy Williams' team was so wrong for letting that documentary happen. I haven't watched it yet. I'm just preparing myself. I'm preparing myself emotionally. Love Like You Are said, this show was only meant for Brett and Tiffany and Lauren and Cam to meet. We've been losing a plot with casting. I believe you. Bree Talks TV said, I won't speculate on what Kenneth really wanted, but I just know it definitely wasn't Britney, and he had the nerve to gaslight her. He absolutely did. Right on time, indeed. Esty said, Nikki, can't wait to hear your thoughts on Chelsea. Cringe. We'll get into it. Some people said I have been to Lost and Found in CLT. NC said I had a feeling you changed your mind just for the show, at least, since it's so messy. It's like, how can we not talk about it, right? How can we not? Thank you, Kim. Hey, Nikki, I didn't. I can't quit you. Coos Girly said the lives are back. Hey, NikkiNicoleStar fam. Hey, Coos Girly. Camille said, missed you. Nikki's skin is glowing as usual. Thank you so much. Esty said, I feel like Love is Blind was created for Lauren and Cameron to meet. This season is trash. I agree. Anisha said their NDA must be non-existent because they be telling it all. I think they have an ironclad NDA. I think production did not put an NDA I forget what it's called, or a gag order on their family members, because the family members are talking. The family members are talking. Facebook is messy. Me too. I am glad to be back. I was a bit nervous, but I'm glad now. Some people say it's Portia scam like we thought Ashley would. Game is game. Game is game. And she played it very well. Thank you so much, Shonda. Shonda said, like and subscribe. Hey, So Steph, missed you too. Elise said, hey, if you don't mind going and like the live, please. Thank you so much. No. Nope. Teresa said, this show scares me. The men get scarier every year. You are right. Denard said, so ready for the Chelsea. Oh, God. So Steph said, I don't really watch anymore. I'm tired of people coming in full-blown serious relationships. You know, once a show is popular, it's done. The truthfulness is done. Irene said, hey, Nikki, absolutely love to hear rep. Thank you so much. Love Like You Are said, what I hate about the season especially is if this was filmed last year, so they didn't even let the marriages marinate at all. Cordelia said, Nikki, your thoughts on Usher at the Super Bowl? I think it was a great performance. I feel like this was a millennial reunion. Like, we were literally listening to songs that played during all of our high school dances and all of our early college club days. So this was for the millennials. It was a good time. It was a walk down memory lane. I think that Usher is a fabulous singer. He can use a track if he's going to do all that dancing. That was my only thing. He was like really winded in some places. And I'm just like, you have the vocals, you can sing, you can use a singing track. It will not take away from your talent. We know that you have it. So that was my only critique, but I will be seeing him wherever he may be, either it be, across the seas or here in America. I will be seeing him and Bey this year or, next year, whatever she decides, but I'm going to be ready this time. I'm not going to miss it, Beyonce. I'm not going to miss the next one. Yikes. Blue Jay said, hello, Miss Nikki. What a nice surprise. I thought it would be a time before. I'm happy to see you. Thank you, Just T. Thank you so much. It's been a mess. This is so sad. Essie said, this just shows us why modern dating doesn't work anymore. Listen, I hate to be the one to say it, but I think we got to go back to arranged marriage. I think we got to get the families involved again. It's scary out there. This season is done. I feel like this show should be done at this point. It's the only one about true love, some people. The only one. Absolutely. Jimmy's a terrible guy, but she's absolutely a clinger. Never. We're never going to get it again. The show's too popular. The show is too popular. Are we age shaming Elise? Yes, we were in the club. We were either in the club or we were at our junior or soft hop, I think. Yes. This is for the millennials, at least the geriatric ones. Megan said, what is with our Black sisters whose names start with an A? Ciao. I feel I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think everybody just wanted to be famous. I really, really do. I don't think it's about Jimmy at all. And we will absolutely get into that. Thank you for being here, Essence. Thank you for being here. Thank you. That's what it's supposed to be. If we keep it a buck, Ryan, that's what it's supposed to be. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. First, I'm just going to break down the characters. Then we're going to get into the couples. And then I'm just going to talk about important moments throughout the season. And then we're going to spend the last 30 minutes or so chatting it up. So again, the timestamps will be in the description box below for the replay gang. But let's get into it. First of all, one thing I have noticed about this season that has been more prominent than any other season so far is that everybody on this show is a liar. Everybody on this show is a liar. I don't feel like anybody on this show is telling the truth. Everybody is capping, because in what world is this 26 years old? In what world is this a 26-year-old man? This is a 43-year-old father, a vet. No way. No way. It's either giving baby Gen X or geriatric millennial. 25 where? 26 where? I'm sorry. 25 where? 25 where? Gen Z, I'm concerned. What's going on? What's going on? Where are y'all baby faces? What's happening? I think the stress of this nation, of this world, is really getting to y'all. Because we got to be honest, millennials, we've lived through a lot. But Gen Z, y'all are living through trauma after trauma. I think with millennials, we would have like breaks in between like world trauma. You know what I mean? Like we would have breaks. I feel like for y'all, it's every year is something. Every year is something. And I think it's catching up. I feel like you guys are maturing faster than you need to just to survive. Because again, 25 where? 26 where? The devil is a liar. This is not, everybody's lying. Everybody on this show is lying. There's no way. Let's first start off with Amber. Amber, who allegedly has a boyfriend. And Amber, I'm going to be honest with you. The reason why I believe it is because of how you left the show. You left the show in such a nonchalant way. It was so confusing to me. The way you left did not make sense until it came out that allegedly you have had a boyfriend this entire time on this show, and that you had an agreement with your boyfriend that you were going to go through the pods and not leave engaged. And I believe that you felt like Matthew was either going to propose to you or AD. And I think you felt like it was going to be you. So you decided to use this moment with AD to exit the show. But I absolutely believe that you had a boyfriend just because of the way you left. So here is the thing. Amber was in a love triangle with Matthew. We will get to him and AD. We will get to her, right? Matthew ends up telling AD and Amber the same thing, telling them the same stories, telling them the same scenarios, giving them the same compliments, and basically leading both of these women down the road that they will be the one for them. AD and Amber were besties in the pods. They started talking and realized they were talking to the same guy and finding interest in the same guy. And then they started to compare notes. And that's when they discovered that Matthew was telling them the same thing. This is Matthew. We'll get to him. So Amber hears the stories that Matthew was telling AD, telling her things about his father. Amber's like, he told me the same thing. And while they're having this discussion, Amber goes, you know what? I think I'm done. She didn't shed a tear. She didn't think about it twice. I'm like, if this is a guy that you were considering marrying, if this is a guy that you were considering walking out of these pods with and starting your life with, why is there no form of reaction? You've just been so chill and nonchalant this entire time. I do believe that you had a boyfriend. I do believe that you came here for the exposure and the fun and the ride that is reality TV. I'm not holding it against you, but I felt like if you're going to fake it, I would have wanted a better performance. Gorgeous girl. Gorgeous girl. Let's get to Amy. Amy's a great girl. I think she is at the stage in her life. And the problem that we're having here with a lot of these women on this show is that they're either late 20s or early 30s. And we as women know that that is a very dangerous place to be, especially on a show where the result is marriage, right? Because a lot of women are either breaking out of patriarchy or running towards patriarchy, especially at this time. So, to be quite honest with you, we are not ourselves. Our mind is not ours. We're feeling like we're old. Biological clock is ticking, whatever that is, right? And we are feeling like we're running out of time and we've wasted so much time. But we've only been living with a fully developed brain for about 6 years, right? So no, 5 or 6 years. So in our minds now, the fully developed mind that we have for only 5 years, we are now thinking that that everything is over. We have to rush and make these decisions and get with these men and marry and have kids. And then you get to about 33, 34, and you realize you probably made the biggest mistake of your life. So at this moment, at this stage, a lot of these women, we're watching the show, we're screaming at them. We're like, why are you staying in this situation? It is because, as a woman, where they are at their age. This is the age where we all feel like it's over. And we have to make a drastic decision. And normally, that drastic decision involves a potential life partner. And it's sometimes not the best decision, right? But for others, it is. But for a lot of us, we're just making a very drastic decision because we are on a made up timeline that does not necessarily fit all of us. It honestly only fits a ruling class, right? But if you're not a part of that ruling class, this does not work for you. So we have women like AD, we have women like Amy, we have women like Chelsea, we have women like Laura who are just like seeing all of these red flags, but just rolling right through them because of their age. That's all it is. It is absolutely age for the women. For the men, it's just a good time on TV. So Amy's a great girl. I think she's an amazing catch. I don't think that the partner that she linked up with, Johnny, I don't think that he's a bad guy, but I honestly think if she was a bit older or younger, she probably would have made a different decision. Let's get into AD the Stallion. Gorgeous girl, right? Unfortunately, she has made the mistake that a lot of Black women make on reality TV, and she wore a half wig. She wore a half wig. I always say, please either get braids or get an expensive wig that sits, because those HD cameras catch everything. And my God, AD, the cameras caught the half wig slipping. Never, Black women never wear a half wig on TV. Do not do it. That thing will slip. It will move out of position. The hair will puff and it will we're already critiqued to the gods, right? You're going to be critiqued very harshly on reality TV. And even before I watched this show, I knew about AD's half wig slipping. Gorgeous girl, great body, overly sexualized on this show by everyone. But I think that's how she's treated in her life. And I think she is not comfortable with it. But I think being a dark-skinned Black woman, she's just settled with that being the attention that she is going to receive. Because I will give it to AD. She knows the body's banging, right? But she does, check people when they have gotten out of hand. But she's also used it to her advantage. And we will get into that more when we get into the episodes. Britney. a conservative white woman that goes to a multicultural millennial church that has a mainly white staff base, right? This, like, it's a diverse church, but mainly the staff that works it is white, and it's very Hillsongish, right? But it's still very conservative, right? And although they might wear skinny jeans during praise and worship, they still preach that women are to be barefoot and pregnant, right? Rearing up the children, being a being a baby maker for a man, right? And also being a great prayer warrior, but never a preacher. But it's for the young people, right? So we get what kind of church this is, right? And we get what kind of environment she's birthed in, because in this environment she can still hold on to her evangelical Christian values, but still also be in an interracial relationship with Black men, which is what she desires. Sweet girl, but I went to church with women like this all the time. They're very sweet, they are very great until you get to their Facebook. Until a Black man decides to run for president, right? He can be in your bed, but he can't lead your nation. So I see who Britney is. It seems as if the partner that she picked in Kenneth was a great partner for her, but something shifted, and we will absolutely get into that. But I think that this is a woman who loves the Lord, who is ready to raise her Jadens and, Jadens, Aidens, and Nevaehs that are going to be doing quadroom slam poetry on TikTok in a few years, right? So that is the idea of her, and that is the life that she desires to lead. And she will have that, because for every Britney, there is a Black man willing to lead her, right? So she is absolutely going to get that. We thought she had it, but we were all wrong, weren't we? Even if we saw a little something, we still tried to. Sweet girl, sweet girl. Jessica, a home wrecker, a home wrecker, a home wrecker. This is a woman who relies solely on her looks. And when it does not work out for her, she becomes a destroyer. Chelsea, a liar, a liar, a liar. Jeremy, a liar, a gaslighter, a liar. The audacity of this gaslighting liar. Clay, yikes. Yikes. How do you premeditate cheating? How do you premeditate? You plan out the cheatation and you give the cheatation warnings with your chest? Yikes. Jimmy, delusional. But we can see why on this show. Absolutely delusional, but we can see why. Johnny, I don't know why he's afraid of condoms. I honestly, Johnny is, I feel like he's the best catch of the show, but I think that Johnny is married. I think he's married to somebody else. I think that Johnny is married to, he's in a full-blown marriage with like a wife that's pregnant with twins. Something is up. He is not making sense. Nothing that he says makes sense to me. Laura. The only thing I can say about Laura is Friday night, you and your boys went out to eat. Baby, she said, it's not right, but it's okay. She clocked Jeremy's tea. She's good. She's absolutely annoying, a lot to deal with, but she clocked Jeremy's tea. I like her. I like her. Kenneth, a 25-year-old principal and partial choir director at his church. Matthew, American Psycho. American Psycho. American Psycho. Trevor, he was America's sweetheart, right? A handsome, buff giant with scalp psoriasis. No shade, me too. Who seemed like the catch. And then we found out that he had a whole girlfriend, some say fiance, allegedly. Allegedly. This show should have never aired. This show should have stayed in the drafts. Now let's get into the couples. I'm going to start with the least offensive, Amy and Johnny. So Amy and Johnny, I wasn't surprised when these two picked each other. I think they gravitated to each other right away. I think they had the same values and the same outlook on life. I feel like once they got out of the pods, we started to see that there was a shift. I feel as if Amy is settling, right? Johnny is not anything that she likes, but I think she's going along with the process and, trying to stick to the theme of love is blind. I don't think love is blind, right? I think that looks do matter. Attraction does matter. And I don't think that looks matter in a way of what we all think is attractive. I think, however, that person was formed in whatever environment that what has become attractive to them in the environment that they were raised in is what matters. So that is why I think that love is not blind. I think that she will probably have a good relationship with Johnny, but I think she is attracted to men of her culture. And I think that's what she's used to. I think that is her attraction. And I think this entire show, she's been fighting that attraction because Johnny is not it. And she mentions it in the nicest way. Well, I like men with darker hair. Well, I like Latin men. I like men who have I like men who have melanin. I like constantly saying it. And I think she's constantly saying it to probably deliver herself from that attraction, to remove those thoughts and ideas, and hopefully speaking on it can get it out. But girl, what you like is what you like, right? What you like is what you like. And I think that the issues that she's finding with Johnny are probably more magnified because she is just not attracted to him in that way. I think she's sticking with the process. Good on her. But if this is not your future, I think you should let it go. Let's get to Johnny with the weird condom stuff. Like, Johnny does not want to have sex with Amy because he does not want to have children. And even when they get married, he is still talking about abstaining from sex. Weird. It's weird to me, right? And his thing is, oh, well, I want her to get on birth control, but she doesn't want to get on birth control because Amy doesn't want to put something foreign into her body. And like a lot of women, I understand and I get it, right? And Johnny is just like, well, I don't want to have sex because condoms are not foolproof, right? We can still get pregnant and I'm not ready for a kid. Hold on. Something here is very weird to me. And I think what's very weird to me is that this woman, attractive woman, is wanting to have sex with this man who she is about to marry or engaged to. And this man is saying that he wants to have sex with her, that he wants to engage in sex with her. But if he cannot engage in raw sex with her on birth control, then he does not want to have sex even when married because they need to find out a system that works for them in a way in which she will not get pregnant. He sounds like he's married, guys. He sounds like he's either married or in a relationship and does not want to disrespect his partner because we rarely see this couple be intimate. We rarely see them kiss. Even when they met each other for the first time, it was really stoic on his end. I felt like Amy was apprehensive as well because she wasn't attracted to him. I think that Johnny was apprehensive because I feel like there's somebody else. It just does not make sense for a grown man to like be adverse to raw puss. Are you kidding me? You know how many women have to beat a man to put a condom on? And this guy is offered raw puss but just an alternative way of not getting pregnant, and he's not of his partner getting pregnant, and he's not okay with that. And Amy is just like, well, listen, I need to know what the sex is like before I marry this man, so we need to figure something out. And Johnny's just like, well, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. When y'all crossing that bridge? Your 5th wedding anniversary? Like, what is happening? Something's very weird about that. I don't think that anything's wrong with abstaining, from sexual intercourse. Everybody does it, right? I don't think anything's wrong with that. I feel like his explanation is not making sense to me. It just does not make, I don't want you to get, we don't pull out around here. We don't use condoms around here. There are options. What's happening? Are diaphragms still available? I mean, there are options. There are options. So I don't understand what his issue is unless he does not want to disrespect his partner back home. I honestly feel like the majority of this cast is in relationships, and they really just came on this show to get famous. And at this point, I feel like Love is Blind is becoming The Bachelor and The Bachelorette and Bachelor in Paradise. People who are in relationships who are just coming on these TV shows for exposure, for Instagram followers, for brand deals, and to get out of their tired jobs that they don't want to work and start working as influencers. I'm not hating, but I'm just saying I think production needs to be a bit better about casting, because it's not... We need a result. We need an end result, right? We need at least one couple to make sense. None of these couples are making sense. If these two get married, we'll see them at the catch up and see how that went. Let's move on to Brit and Kenneth. Let's talk about this. Britney and Kenneth, this is the problem with church relationships. All y'all do is talk about God. Y'all don't talk about nothing else. Y'all don't talk. Their entire time in the pod, it was about God and how God wants a marriage structured. Y'all didn't talk about nothing else, and y'all should have had that conversation. Britney, I knew the minute you said that you wanted to be submissive to a man, and that's how God made you, that you were in for a nightmare of your life. I didn't know it would turn out this way, but when you lead out talking to a religious man, a religious Black man, and saying, oh, I dream about being submissive to my husband. What the hell are you drinking? Like, oh my God, are you depressed? Who the hell dreams about being submissive? That's weird, right? I dream about being submissive to my husband. I dream about, taking care of the home and raising the kids and making his dinner while he's out working. You got to have bigger dreams, honey. You got to start dreaming big. I mean, my God, today, you mean to tell me that that's the dream that the Lord had for you? He gave Daniel and Joseph all them dreams, and he gave you that? Girl, these church relationships will blind you. She went in this whole situation, God, Jesus, and all of this, right? Strict religion. I don't think you consulted the Lord 1 second about this man, because if you did, God would have been like, now Britney, you know what I mean? Like, you didn't consult the Lord. This was you. You had this idea of what you wanted. You wanted a Black husband, you wanted biracial kids, and you wanted to go to your conservatives, Hillsong, multiracial church, and you wanted to post your family photos, your family fall photos on Facebook and be like, this is Martin Luther King's dream. Girl, you got to take off them blinders and you got to start thinking. You have to start making sense. The only thing that you and Kenneth talked about in them pods was scripture. Neither one of you was reading it. Neither one of you was dissecting it. Y'all are adults. Y'all should have had an adult conversation about the rest of your life. I just feel like Jesus really has you as the man of God for me. In what way? How? What is it about him? Neither one of you got to know each other. You relied on religion, and this is the result. You got out of the pods, and you two were strangers. You two were complete strangers. because you did not spend the time in the pods learning about each other. You just heard that you both were Christian and was just like, oh, that's it. Britney heard that she heard a black man's voice. She knows. She knows. She heard a black man's voice and she heard choir director and she was like, oh, I'm sold. You got any black girlfriends? Because I feel like, I'm no shade. I feel like if a black girlfriend would have been like, a choir director, girl, you know what I mean? You surround yourself with the men of the community, but also the women. They will give you game. But just to be quite honest with you, I think these two just did not learn anything about each other. And that's why the relationship did not work in the pods. It was all about religion. It was nothing about each other. Y'all didn't even talk about attraction. Y'all didn't say anything. I know love is blind, but my God, today, like, Britney likes to be gripped up. You should have discussed that with Kenneth. Like, I like to be gripped up. Are you a gripper, Kenneth? Y'all should have had that conversation. You did not have that conversation. So let's get to these two meeting. I'm telling you, everybody try to blame AD in the black community. The minute Kenneth saw her, he was not interested. He was not interested. And there's nothing wrong with Britney. She's a beautiful woman. She's a beautiful woman. He was not interested. He was not interested in a relationship with her. He looked at her and went, wow. Then he sat down. He moved as far away from her as he could, and he just stared at her. Britney is moving closer to him, trying to establish some like intimacy with this man, and he is shutting it down. I knew from there she was not going to be the one for him. Now we get to the vacation, right? And in the beginning, it looks like Kenneth is trying to hold up this, he's a church boy. He's a leader at his church. He's also a school principal. So he has to uphold himself a certain way. In the beginning, I'm like, oh, this is what's happening, right? He's upholding his image. But then we see Britney really trying to establish some sort of relationship, establish even a conversation with this man, and he is not conversing with her. It's one or two words, right? They go out on a boat. He doesn't say anything until he sees a dolphin. He doesn't make eye contact with her. He doesn't ask her anything about herself. Britney is asking him everything. Then she finally tells him what she desires. What are the things that she needs? And I feel like, girl, you should have said that in the pods, because I think you would have got the same reaction, even though y'all weren't together, but you would have heard the same silence in the pod, and you probably would have moved on to somebody else. But it's very obvious that these two are not connecting in the way that they thought that they connected in the pods. But they didn't. They didn't connect on anything but religion. And then when you get outside of the pods and you realize you have to actually hold the conversation that's not just a freaking Bible study, it's difficult now because you two don't have anything in common outside of that. So let's deal with that thing. He's not attracted to her. They did not learn anything about each other. So there was not a foundation for them to base this relationship off of, right? Then you also have this very standoffish man. For whatever reason, he does not want to be intimate with her on camera, right? Or off camera, as we come to find out later. But then we see a spark in Kenneth that we haven't seen before. We see it when he looks at AD and Clay. And what does he say to AD individually and Clay individually, and AD and Clay when they are together? Black love. He keeps on saying it. Black love, right? And he perks up. So there's another component of that. Although he entertained a relationship with a white woman because love is blind, his heart is in a Black relationship. He wants a Black partner. And the only reason why I say that is because of how he perked up before he even had the conversation with Clay and AD. He brings it up with AD. He brings it up every time he sees them. Black love, Black love. When he sees AD, I thought he was attracted to AD at first. When he sees her, he's like, hey, how you doing? What's up? How's the relationship? Black love, Black love. He's showing all his teeth and gums. I didn't even know that Kenneth had that many teeth until he started talking to AD, right? AD got the boys going crazy. I know that's right. Her milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Milkshakes in the front and in the back. You go, girl. So he starts perking up. So this is the time that the couples all meet, right? So AD and Kenneth are having a conversation about their relationship. And then AD, Aaliyah Peterson, thank you so much for the cash app. Aaliyah says, for you are eating. Where is your Netflix comedy special? Soon. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Aaliyah. So Kenneth meets with AD, and all the couples are meeting with her, and he's talking after he perks up and says black love. AD says, so did you have the conversation about her, raising black children? What the hell was wrong with that? Everybody's on Twitter going nuts. I'm sorry. Y'all don't say that to your black friends in interracial relationships, especially your black friends, black American friends in relationships with white people. Are you out of your damn mind? If you're a freaking millennial, you are the second free generation in this nation. And Gen X didn't even have it that free. We're 2 generations from a plantation. Some of us are 1 generation from a plantation. Are you kidding me? Oh, she can't have that conversation? If y'all are not having this kind of conversation with your friend, with your black American friends and relationships with white people, y'all not friends. You're not trying to protect your people. Are you kidding me? Your black American friend is literally getting into a relationship where they have no power, and y'all not checking to make sure they're safe and okay and making a right decision. Love is love, but let's be clear of where we are at and what we live under as black people. So I felt like everybody was gaslighting AD. Everybody was acting crazy, at least on the Twitter. AD messed the situation up. If you are not asking that question, you're not friends. There's absolutely no way. As a black woman, she says to this black man, guys, this is not relationship. This is not boyfriend and girlfriend. Oh, we're just talking. The end result of this show is a marriage. So she is saying to him, are you okay? Or have you all had the conversation about your white wife raising black kids? And she should have thrown in also, how is she okay with being a wife to a black husband? Does she even know what that entails? I think you do, Brittany. I think you've always, I don't think this is your first time at the NBA All-Star games. I feel like you've been here your whole life, right? So no shade. You know what you're doing. Anyway, I think there was nothing wrong with her asking that question. Where it went wrong was that for Kenneth, poor AD gave him an out. Because as soon as he had that conversation with AD, his demeanor changed drastically. It had already changed, but it changed drastically because AD gave him his out. Now he can no longer say, oh, it's not because we don't have anything in common. It's not because there's no attraction there. It's just because I don't know if I could be in a relationship with a white woman. Kenneth, it's something else. But we're going to let AD be the scapegoat because we already saw that you wasn't feeling this woman from jump. From when you met her, there was nothing there. From when y'all went to that hotel room, there was nothing there. By the time you got to the conversation with AD, you were already checked out. Now you just had a reason, and it was to use her race and her culture against her. So anyway, after they had that conversation, Kenneth goes back to the hotel room and tells Brittany this conversation. And I hope that Brittany and AD sat down after they watched this and really was able to bury the hatchet, because I think that Brittany probably left this process thinking that AD ruined her relationship, right? So Kenneth tells Brittany his conversation with AD, right? He doesn't say, oh, I started off the conversation with AD talking about her and Clay's relationship, screaming black love. He don't say that. He leave the black love out, and he says, well, AD said, are you going to be okay raising black children? And, I just started to think about that. I, started to think about how you're going to be with my family and all of this. How the hell you started to think about that? You know that she done been with black men before. You can see how she carry herself. She been here and she like it. So let's not play that game like you don't know and you can't. How are we going to be in the real world? Get out of here. Get out of here. You don't want her. So you finally got an excuse and you started to put your plan into action. Now, when Britney hears this, all she hears is AD implanted negativity about her towards her fiance. And as a woman who wants a man and is being rejected, she's hearing what she wants to hear, but her body has already let her know this man don't want her. She knew from dolphin watching that he was not interested in her. But she's going to be delusional, like a lot of women are, and now is going to be mad at another woman about a situation that she already knows the truth of, because that's what we do. We'll scrap with another woman before we scrap with that raggedy man that's putting us through hell. It is what it is. We got to get delivered, healed, and set free from that. So anyway, now she's just like, well, I hope AD didn't, mess up anything that we have here, because this is not my first interracial relationship. And although I identify, wasn't she a lot with the identify? I identify as a white woman and you identify as a Black man. Neither one of y'all can identify as anything else, but okay. Even though that's how we identify, I am very comfortable and willing and able and ready to raise Black children. But I will ask the Black community about how I can, be a better partner to you and a better mother to our children. I believe it. I believe it. I absolutely believe that Britney, in all purity, is going to be on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, wherever she is, asking sisters, African-American sisters, Black women of the diaspora, please. I do not know how to braid Nevaeh's hair, and she wants stitch braids, but I don't know any Afro-Latinas. So if y'all could please help me and just teach me how to stitch braid Nevaeh's hair, and where can I get them cute little barrettes from that the beautiful African-American girls wear in her school? I want to make sure she has the proper hairstyle and attire to represent her race at this month's Black History Month parade. Like, she's that Black, she's that white mama. She's going to do the work. Now, will her multiracial children, her biracial children be annoying? Probably. They all have a moment. But I think they're in good hands with Britney, right? But I hate the fact that Kenneth implanted that seed of division between her and AD when it was really the fact that he did not want her, right? So now Britney and Kenneth leave the environment and now they have to move in together, right? Britney asking Kenneth, where does he want his things? Putting the house together, because the last stage of the experiment before they get married is, how are we going to live together in this environment? Kenneth never fully moved in. She's asking him where things go, where does he want things, and he's not listening to her. He's on his phone the entire time, texting the entire time, not saying anything to her, not engaging in any conversation with her. She's pulling conversation out of this man. And he's like, oh, well, I'm a principal, so I got to stay on my phone. How many schools are you a principal of? Because it can't just be one school. And if it's one school, how many students? How many students are at this damn school that you are on this phone 24/7? You're using the phone just like you use AD as a scapegoat to not engage in any kind of conversation or any relational activities with this woman because you do not desire her. So now Britney is breaking down with Kenneth. She's breaking down. She's tried everything she can. And all she says to her fiance is that, I know that we're waiting for marriage. It seems like it was Kenneth's choice. And she's like, I get that, but I do crave intimacy. I want to know that you desire me. I want you to grip me up. I want you to hold my hand. And he's like, well, I tried to wake you up one time at like 3 a.m. when I got in, and I told you I was home, but you were upset and you went back to bed because it was 3 a.m., you fool. It was 3 a.m. and she had to get up for work in 3 hours. So of course she's going to be a little upset. You didn't want me to wake you up? Hell no. Hell no, she did not want you to wake her up. And that's his only excuse. And while she is sitting there crying, breaking down, expressing to this man that she needed more from him, he's on his phone, doesn't look up from his phone, and says to her, Oh, it's obvious that this isn't going to work, so let's just end this. Excuse me? Then he gets up and he hugs her. He says, come and give me a hug. Doesn't even meet her halfway. Tells her to come to him. Come here, give me a hug. So you can know it's no hard feelings. While she's breaking down, he gives her a side hug like she's a crossing guard. Then walks upstairs, calls his friend, his male friend, and says, this ain't working out. Come get me. What the hell is going on? What the hell is going on? It's giving uncle and his roommate. It's giving uncle and his roommate. Something is up. Something is up. And I've been in church, black church, all my life to know what I'm seeing. I ain't trying to pull nobody out of nothing, but all I'm trying to say, if somebody is in something, that it's glass. It's glass. We can see it. Let's figure out this situation. And if it's not what we think we're seeing, Kenneth, your cousin is on Facebook telling your business. Now, is she lying? Because she said you wanted to show the police family. Allegedly. Allegedly. But that move was hella suspicious. You broke up with her, then you called your boy and said, come get me. What? Yeah, it's not working out. Come get me. It's giving Law and Order SVU. Going to the Poconos to play poker. We all remember that iconic episode. Anyway, Britney. I feel sorry for you. It was very embarrassing and heartbreaking to watch her break down and that man not give her anything. I think if you would have done this, it would have been in your right. If you were cooking up some grits and decided to throw it on him, we'll allow it. We'll allow it. Kenneth disrespected you bad. The way he treated you was uncalled for. You didn't deserve that. You did not deserve that. Listen, mama, I don't know where you were this past weekend, but I hope that you took a little promo flight to Las Vegas and got yourself an NBA player, even if he's on the bench, because I feel like there is a black man waiting for you, especially a black Christian one. My God, today. Yikes, girl, but that's what you desire. I think you're going to find it. I think you're going to find it. I think you're going to find the black Christian man that you desire to be submissive to. And I think Jalen and Nevaeh are going to be blessed kids to have you as a mama. You didn't deserve that. You did not deserve that. Kenneth, do better. Do better. Don't put it on no black love. Don't put this on no black love. Although that is what you desire, you also were not attracted to this woman and did not want a relationship with her outside of the pods. You got yourself a nice free vacation from this show, and by the time you got home, you realized you didn't want to go through this process anymore. That's not fair. You played with her, you gaslit her, you let her on. That's not right. Let's move on to Chelsea and Jimmy. Chelsea. This is the thing. Chelsea and Jimmy should not be together. Chelsea and Jimmy should not get married. If they do get married, yikes, it's on them. Chelsea and Jimmy do not want each other. Chelsea wants Trevor. Jimmy wants Jessica. The only reason why Chelsea wants Jimmy is because Jimmy was also in a relationship in the pods with Jessica, right? Here is the thing. Chelsea, in her mind, believes that she cannot compete with a Jessica, right? And when she found out that her and Jessica were attracted to and bonding and forming a relationship with the same man, she decided it was on. It became a competition about who was going to win Jimmy when she had a very strong connection with Trevor. She rejected Trevor because she wanted to beat Jessica and win the prize, which is Jimmy. Poor thing. So, although Chelsea wanted Trevor, she needed to beat Jessica because in her mind, she can't beat Jessica in the real world, but she can beat Jessica in the pods. So it all became about winning Jimmy. Because if you go back to when Jimmy told Chelsea that he loved her, how happy and excited she was, not for him to say that, but for Jessica to hear that he said that. The joy that she got when Jessica was having a breakdown after realizing that Jimmy chose Chelsea over Jessica was not because she wanted Jimmy. It was because she was finally able to beat a woman who she did not believe that she could beat in the real world based off of looks alone. This is how Chelsea sees herself, and this is how Chelsea sees Jessica. This is not about Jimmy. She don't want him. But she has to keep him because she won him over Jessica. That's all this is. That's all this is. It's an ego stroke for Chelsea, right? And she knew that she was not going to be able to solidify Jimmy unless she broke the experiment. And how she broke the experiment was telling Jimmy that she looks like Megan Fox. Now, I do believe that a lot of people are gaslighting her because I'll give it to her. She looks like Megan Fox if Megan Fox played basketball. You know what I mean? Like, it's giving WNBA Megan Fox. I see it. I see it in the nose. I see it in the lips. I like right around here. Absolutely, I will see that. Like Megan Fox's basketball player tether. Yes. Megan Fox twin? No. Absolutely not. And she knew what she was doing. She knew what she was doing when she told Jimmy that, right? Now, does her arch nemesis look like Megan Fox? She looks more like Megan Fox than Chelsea looks like Megan Fox. And I think that Chelsea knew that that was going to be the only way that she could seal that guy. Because she knew what kind of shallow guy Jimmy was. And she knew unless she broke the experiment, she was not going to beat Jessica. So she had to break the experiment, and she won the prize, which is Jimmy, while letting go of her closest and best connection at the time, which is Trevor, who had a whole relationship. So, child, allegedly. So anyway, Jimmy, like every white man on this show, has no personality, no game. He's just white, and that's all he has to be. Because the women are falling all over him. Why? Not because they think he's attractive, because they know that he's a white guy. And they know that being with him, their life is just going to be significantly easier. It just is what it is. It's just how the world is. So he doesn't have to do much, right? Doesn't have to have much conversation, doesn't have to have much of a personality. Nothing about him is interesting, but he's white. And that is all that matters. And the women are clamoring over him. So after Chelsea beats Jessica and wins Jimmy, Chelsea and Jimmy meet for the first time. Jimmy was absolutely disappointed. He was so disappointed when he hugged Chelsea, he looked directly into the camera as if he wanted to say, please save me, because this heifer does not look like Megan Fox. And Chelsea knew it. Chelsea knew it. That's why she started to lean into being this like kind of golden retriever and started to like act like really in a really weird way that we did not see her act in the pods, and we did not see her act with the other women. But she needed to show Jimmy that she was really excited to be with him and to, move on in this process with him. So that's when she turned into a golden retriever and started doing all the, I'm so happy to be with you. Like she was never doing that, right? But she needed to put on this performance because I think she knew. I think she knew from the moment that he looked at her that she did not look like Megan Fox, right? But she knew that that guy was shallow enough to believe something like that. So he would eat it up, and he did. And he did, because love is not blind, right? So he heard Megan Fox and he heard no kids. So he went after Chelsea, and now he feels like he's made a grave mistake. So now Chelsea knows that. So she starts acting like a golden retriever, and then she starts throwing puss at Jimmy, right? Jimmy gonna take it, even though he don't like it, and even though he don't want it. He told her she needs to stop throwing him puss because he don't want it. He says it's too much. We're having sex too much. What man says that? He looked at her and said, it's too much. I don't want the sex. You're clingy and it's too much coochie. Please back away. Back away while she's having a breakdown. So now Chelsea is mortified. She's embarrassed because she has been doing everything with this man, compromising, saying that she wants to move into his studio apartment and she's okay with it. She has a much bigger apartment with her roommate, but she's going to move into his studio apartment. Whatever she needs to do to keep this man that wanted Jessica but chose her, she's going to do it. She's going to act like a golden retriever. She's going to move into his studio apartment. She's going to spread her legs and spread them wide whenever he's ready, even when he doesn't want it. She's going to put it on him to keep him, because that's the only way that she can keep this man interested in her. And she knows it. And she knows it. But when he says it back on camera, it embarrasses her. So they have this whole blow up because she feels as if he's not being honest about what he wants, right? He feels as if she's asking for too much. She feels like she's not asking for nearly enough because he's not giving her enough because he does not like her. And I think she's very aware of that. But she's hoping that sex will change his mind. It never does. Right? She's hoping that compromise on her end will change his mind. It never does. Right? So she's stuck in this situation with this man when she's doing everything to please him, and it's just not enough because he does not want her. You shouldn't have lied, girl. You shouldn't have lied. This is the situation that you are in. Let's move on to Laura and Jeremy. So Laura and Jeremy, these two remind me a lot of Chelsea and Jimmy. Here is why. I don't think these two like each other. I don't think these two want to be in a relationship. I think these two realize they made the most sense for this experiment. I don't see them getting married. I don't even see them being friends after this experiment, right? I think that Laura wanted to finish off the show, so she hooked on to Jeremy. And I think that Jeremy wanted somebody to fit in a position that he has created, right? I think that he is like preparing his life and just needed a woman to fit in that role, and he found it in a woman that is childless, right? Because he was engaged prior to the show to a woman that had a child, and I think he wanted to create a life with somebody who did not have a child, or a father that he would have to compromise with. I think he found a clean slate in Laura, who he thought was going to be submissive and subservient to him. But that was just not the case. That was not the case at all. And these two got out of the pods and they started to butt heads, because it was really like, I think by the time they were on vacation, Laura was out. She didn't like him. It was very honest. Like, everything he was doing annoyed her. She did not like him. He threw her under the bus with AD. We will get to that when we talk about AD and Clay. So there was just not much of a relationship there anymore. Like, you could tell that it fizzled. You could tell from their initial reaction that they liked each other, but you could tell by the time that they got on vacation that, at least for Laura, everything fizzled. Now, Laura jumped back into liking Jeremy when she saw his house. When she saw his house and especially that kitchen, and she realized that he was financially set up, she all of a sudden started to like him again. But I think at that point, Jeremy was pulling away, and then he's meeting with her family, who I think they love her. They don't necessarily like her, right? So she's not giving him the best impression, right? Her family sees her as a problem. He's starting to see her as a problem. But now Laura has checked into the relationship when she sees what kind of provider that he could possibly be for her. And her family is making her check into this relationship because her family wants her to be somebody else's, no shade, problem. Because Laura, the way your family is talking about you on TV, my God, today, you sound annoying. If we're going to go off of the words of your mother and father, you sound like a problem, right? So they're ready to offload you onto Jeremy, but he's now checked out because he's seeing that you're going to be a problem. Now, although Laura is a problem, although she is annoying, although she is nagging, Mother's a damn good detective. Mother's a damn good detective because Laura and Jeremy were in a love triangle with where is she at? Do I have her here? I don't think I have her. Let me bring up Sarah Ann. I thought I had her on here. Here she is. So they're in the love triangle with Sarah Ann, right? Sarah Ann, another homewrecker, right? Sarah Ann and Jeremy were, they were hitting it off in the pods. I think Sarah Ann, and I felt like Jeremy did not want to be in a relationship with somebody who appeared to be, I won't say very high maintenance, but she seemed to be very superficial, right? It was all just about looks, right? Sarah Ann is definitely a trophy wife. And she's fine with that. That's who she wants to be. She wants to have the kids. She'll believe whatever he believes. She'll do whatever she wants her to do. She'll be submissive just as long as he pays for her Botox, her lip fillers, and her implants. Just as long as he does the things that she needs to keep herself looking a certain way, because she absolutely is going to be some kind of influencer if she's not already. She's absolutely going to be a mom influencer, a wedding influencer, a soft life influencer. That's this girl. She is a, high maintenance trad wife. This is what she wants to be. And I don't think that Jeremy necessarily wanted that, because a woman like that is going to be a lot of work financially. Like, the only way you are going to keep white Portia is if you have some money. He's going to spend a lot of coin. And although he has the coin to spend, although he puts, the coin into his home, he don't necessarily want to spend that much on a woman. That's who Jeremy is, right? However, when they get out of the pods, Sarah Ann contacts him, and he shows Laura the message from Sarah Ann. Now, Laura has a problem because Sarah Ann says, if you ever want to change your mind, I'm here. Basically saying, I'm a side chick for hire, right? Laura doesn't like it because Jeremy hearted the message. I absolutely understand. Jeremy's like, well, I showed you. Isn't that a step? And she's like, well, you showed me, but you hearted it. So what the hell does that mean? And Laura's right. Her family is gaslighting her because they don't want her to come back home. But Laura is absolutely right. Why the hell did you like that? You should have never even viewed it. You should have taken the picture, showed me, and blocked that hoe. But not only did you start following her, you accepted the message and you hearted it. Who are you playing with? So Laura was like, absolutely not. That's not okay. Jeremy apologizes because that's what he does, right? He messes up, and then he does this grand apology, and he tries to make Laura feels like she's in the wrong, or try to make her feel like she's like insane or something. He's basically the kind of guy that says, oh, she's crazy. Is she crazy? Or did you do something to warrant that kind of reaction from her? He's messy. He's absolutely messy. So anyway, Jeremy goes and meets with Sarah Ann. He says that he's going to go hang out with some people. He shares his location with Laura, lets her know that Sarah Ann is in the vicinity, and he's going to like talk to her, right? He says, "Oh, me and Sarah Ann are in the parking lot talking, sharing my location." Laura sits down with him and she has a conversation, and she's just like, "Well, I didn't like that you met her, but I trusted you, so I didn't check your location." So when she says that she didn't check his location, Jeremy says, "Oh yeah, well, we were in the parking lot and we just talked, and then I just came home." And she was like, "Well, why did you come home at 5 a.m.?" And Jeremy is just like, "Oh, we were just having a really intense conversation." And Laura was just like, "Such an intense conversation that you had to go to her apartment and stay there until 5 a.m.? Because I did check your location." I was like, "Yes, girl. Yes, girl." She let him talk until he dug a ditch, and then she caught him in a lie. But it seems like from the previews that she stayed with him because we're going to see them all together at like some barbecue or whatever. I don't know how that's going to work out, but we're probably going to see that later on on tonight, or probably in a few hours. So anyway, after they have this conversation, it ends like these two are not together because Laura says, "Yeah, I'm done." And it looks as if these two are not going to work out. Jeremy is apologizing. He's saying that he's wrong or whatever, but Laura is checked out at this point. So I don't know where these two are at, but I don't think that they were a good match. I think they did what a lot of people in the pods do. They talk about a lot of fluff. They talk about a lot of stuff, but I don't think that anybody in the pods went deep or made any sense for their relationships to be where they are, right? Like, I don't think that anybody had in the pods a deep enough conversation where at the end of the show they should be getting married. I think we've watched a lot of pod conversations go very deep and make a lot of sense. We have not seen it in season 6. We have not seen it at all in season 6. None of these couples should get married. It does not make sense whatsoever. Good job, Laura, for catching him. Good job. Oh, she caught him. She said, "You was at his apartment, Sarah Ann. Why were you available for that nonsense?" I don't care if it's an experiment. He proposed to somebody, right? He gave another woman a ring, a proposal. Why is he in your apartment at 5 a.m. talking to you? You're that girl and proud of it? Yikes. I mean, I know renting's expensive, but my God, today, have some shame. Have some shame. Now, speaking of shame, let's get into these two. I don't need Black representation on these shows anymore. I'm good. I feel like I've seen enough. Like, we don't need to do this anymore. We're done. We should have stopped at Brett and Tiffany. We're done here. AD and Clay. AD, gorgeous girl. Great body. I feel like she relies on that the most because that is something that has been called out the most. And when you grow up as a Black woman, started as a young Black girl, and you are dark, you are sexualized from jump. There is nothing about your identity that is ever going to be sacred. Everything about you is going to be used for the titillation and sexualization, and sexual desires of others. You learn that very early on. Some women cope with it in different ways. Some women stay away from men. Some women cover up their bodies. Some women show it off. Some women, express it just like, "This is who I am. I got a great body. It is what it is. I'm, going to use it to my advantage." I think AD knows that the body is banging. I think she knows that she looks good and she works out and she does what she needs to do to stay that way. I think for AD, her body, in a sense, has become a crutch, right? And I say it has become a crutch because it is something that has probably got her a lot of attractive or a lot of successful men, but not a lot of men of substance. So I feel like she leaves a lot of relationships empty because she is getting with men who is desiring her for the time that they can have with her and not really getting to know her. And I think she also runs to a lot of relationships with men who show her any kind of interest. Um, and it's alarming because it's like you're an adult woman, beautiful woman, but I think that because of how she has been treated physically her entire life, the relationships are empty. And the reason why I say that is because what in the hell did you see in Matthew? What in the hell did you see in American Psycho? Why was Ted Bundy at all a freaking option for you? This was her first match. Matthew, she's in the pods. He's like, the voice alone is scary. Yeah, you know, cornfields, my parents, office, corporate. I like a woman who does this. You sound like you could be that girl. Why don't you come and run in the cornfields with me? And AD's like, oh, you want me to run in the cornfields? Girl, what? What the hell is wrong with you? I'm rooting for you. But why was he an option? And the only reason he did not become an option was because he was telling Amber the same thing. So if he was only telling that to you, would you have accepted his proposal? I was gagged. First of all, you know who else was gagged? Matthew. He could not believe that he was getting this far with AD. And AD went so far to say, so how do you feel about relationships with ethnic women? What, girl? AD, we need to talk. We need a sister circle. You a baddie in all forms, even without the body. You're a baddie, mama. You're a baddie. You should not be entertaining any of these men, but you were eating up any kind of attention that these men were giving you. And I was so gagged and concerned. Thank God you had that conversation with Amber, because I do not know what your experience would have been had you. I do know it would have been absolutely terrifying if you ended up with this man. My God, today, absolutely terrified for you. But because Amber and AD had a conversation about what Matthew was saying to them, Amber left. AD let him know she's not interested. So Matthew, he went back to making women disappear. Let me stop, Matthew. Anyway, so that connection with Matthew is closed, right? Then she starts a connection with Clay. Yikes. Yikes. So Clay is a black man who, Lord knows what the hell he does. He keeps on talking about this job. Nobody can make sense of the job. Nobody can make sense of this man's job. So he is a man that has a job. Nobody knows what he does, but he's obviously very successful in doing this job. He also walks with a lot of trauma because his father is a Rolling Stone and he took him on his cheatation trips. So he literally used his son as an excuse to go and cheat so that his mother would not be any the wiser that her husband was cheating on her because his son was with him. Evil man. And how I know this man has trauma, because he spoke about it often, right? And he didn't speak about his trauma and name it. He spoke about how his father treated his mom and how his father treated his mom, cheated on his mom, and took him on his cheating trips. And how I know that this man is traumatized, because even after he told the audience, NAD, everything that his father did, his final words about his dad was, my dad was a good man and a great father. How? How was he a good father when he took you on his cheatation trips? How? But if you look at that, at everything that this man has done to you, and you still see him as a great husband and a great father, you are traumatized, and you are speaking through your trauma. And the only thing that you can do is get help for that trauma and get healed from that trauma. But instead, you are on this TV show trying to be somebody's husband. And it's AD. It's AD. AD hears everything that this man says and still decides that he's the one. Not only does she hear everything that this man has to say about his father and how he's nervous because he feels like, he doesn't want to be his dad, he doesn't want to cheat, but he's scared. He's scared about, becoming his father. And AD hears that and goes, "Oh, you won't be that with me. How the hell do you know?" He's already telling you what your future is going to be with him, but you don't want to hear it. You just don't want to hear it. And we realize that the reason why AD cannot hear what Clay is saying is because AD describes herself as a fix-a-hoe. She likes fixing men. So she likes these projects so that she can fix them and probably make them a better partner for somebody else, because they never stay at the hospital. They never stay at the hospital. When they get well, they take that wellness and they go out and they be a better partner to somebody else, not you. But in her mind, she feels like she can change him. She can fix him, right? The whole time, their conversations are not about AD. Their conversations are about how she can be a partner to him, how she can fix him, how she can be his mother, how she can comfort him, how she can heal him. Nothing is about her. The conversation is all about him. It even turns to him when she expresses to him that she has a connection with American Psycho. Clay gets upset and starts chastising AD to the point where this woman has a full breakdown that this man, Mr. Keith Sweat himself, with a dash of Johnny Gill, tells her that he's upset that she's entertaining somebody else. Like, this is not the damn show. Like, this is not the process. But he gets in her mind, makes her feel small. She has a breakdown, and now she is chasing and pursuing him, trying to make him feel special, trying to make him feel okay, babying this grown man to the point where he does not even fully propose to her. He gets down on one knee and says to her, "You want to do this with me?" What? You want to rock out with me? Excuse me? You have to ask her if she will marry you. You want to rock out with me? AD. Yes. Girl, what? The bar is in hell. The bar is in hell. So now these two are engaged, right? Right out the gate, they banging. Right out the gate, they banging. Because he sees the body, she shows the body. The first time they see each other, he's not impressed, right? He's only impressed with AD when AD turns around. That's when he tells her that she's beautiful, when he sees her backside. When they get to Mexico, wherever they're at, the whole time he's talking about her body. The whole time he's talking about it. He hasn't said nothing about AD, nothing about her personality, nothing about their goals or the future that he wants to have with her. Everything is about her body. AD, I want better for you. They finally have sex. It's all about the sex. That's their relationship. The relationship is all the sex they have and AD's body. Even when it comes to her being sexually exploited by the cast, there's not much that can be done because she's being sexually exploited by her fiance. Because in his confessionals, he doesn't say anything else but how her body looks. That's it. It's all about her backside and how sexy she is. Nothing else about her. So then we have an incident where all the couples get together, right? Chelsea and Jimmy get into it because Jimmy looks at AD and he tells Chelsea he's a little drunk. But he stares at AD and he tells Chelsea, that girl is stacked. I got to be honest with you. I wasn't expecting that. That threw me for a loop. He was like, that girl is stacked. And I think he was so drunk, he didn't realize that he said it. And Chelsea was like, what? He's like, that girl right there, she's stacked. Chelsea's like, oh yeah, AD, yeah, of course she has a great body. And she's like in her own space right now. Her feelings are hurt, so she runs to Laura, right? And she runs to Laura and tells Laura what happened. But Laura and Jeremy have been talking about AD's body, so everybody starts talking, and we realize the whole cast is obsessed with how this woman is stacked, how she looks. Everybody has been having this conversation. Everybody has been sexually exploiting her. Every couple has been talking about what they want to do to her sexually. Absolutely sick. From her fiance to her castmates. Everybody is talking about what they want to do to this woman's body sexually. And I can't even say that Clay stood up for her, right? Clay stood up for himself because Jeremy told everybody what Laura said, right? And then Chelsea tells Jimmy what tells AD what Jimmy said about her body. We will get into AD's reaction to Jimmy. Girl, stand up. So everybody now is having these conversations about AD's body, and then Clay does not protect AD. He makes it about himself. He tells the guys and the women, "Oh no, that's disrespectful to me. You talking about my fiance's body is disrespectful to me." Well, it's also disrespectful to her. Let's start there. Let's start protecting her. Let's start protecting the body that you worship so much. Let's start protecting the butt that you can't get enough of. At least protect that if you're not going to protect your damn fiance. But no, it's, oh, y'all were saying that and that hurts me as a man. What the hell? We're not going to protect her at all? So nobody protects AD. AD had to start protecting herself. She tells Laura and Jeremy that wasn't okay. That was not okay to talk about flipping my nipples and all the stuff you're going to do to me. That was not okay. And I like the fact that AD did not allow them to be like, oh, we're sorry, it was wrong. No, she allowed them to sit in that. And she was like, no, it's not okay. No matter what you say, it's not okay. Don't give me an excuse. What you said about me was not okay. I'm thankful that she said something. I hate the fact that even though her fiance was there, she still had to stand up and protect herself against Laura, Jeremy, and Chelsea. But not Jimmy. AD, we got to be honest here. When Chelsea told you what Jimmy said, you were like, Why did you turn your behind to Jimmy? Oh my God, you see it? And all that did was make Jimmy come over. You turned your butt to Jimmy, who told you that you were stacked. He came over, high-fived you, and now you and Jimmy are giving each other these dreamy eyes, and he's telling you you're so beautiful and hugging up on you, and you're eating it up. Honey, sexual... He's sexually exploiting you. It wasn't a compliment. It was not a compliment, AD. It was not something for you to eat up. And then for you to say at the end of the conversation with Jimmy, me and you should do this more often. Don't be a stranger. What? What the hell is going on? That threw me for a loop. So now, after that weird vacation that everybody has, we're back at everybody's living situation. We go and we see where AD and Clay are living. And AD, who, girl, I don't know if you're employed. I don't know. I don't know if you are fully employed because, excuse me, when you saw Clay's home, all of a sudden you started setting up shop. You started putting your furniture down where you're going to be. You loved his home. And I think woman to woman, you saw a provider, right? You overlooked everything else and you saw provision. And you were like, okay, this is where I'm going to be. Because after you sat in that man and looked through every room and planned where all of your stuff was going to go, he laid on that couch and he said, I need you to mother me. Am I your baby? Are you going to hold me? What the hell? And you say, yes, you my baby. I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to nurture you. And you crawled on top of that man and cradle that grown adult like he was a newborn. I don't need any more Black representation on this show. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Now let's get to the family, because everybody meets what's family or whatever. Listen, we met what's her name? We met Chelsea and Jimmy's friends. Chelsea's friends are absolutely delusional. They know their friend is delusional. They just allow her to live in a delusion. They know that her and Jimmy are not going to work. Jimmy only has Chelsea meet his friends, his female friends that he made 2 years ago. Something's wrong with that. Something's weird with that. And I think the only reason why Chelsea met those 2 girlfriends that he just made 2 years ago is because he does not want to be with her, and he does not want to fully engulf her into meeting his family or his real core group of friends. So he got Chelsea to meet his coworkers, because those relationships don't matter as much as the deep, intimate ones. He did not want to get his real family and friends involved in this mess of a relationship, because he was going to get out of it. That's why that happened. Jimmy has friends. He got best friends. He got family. Chelsea was not meeting them because Jimmy didn't want her to, because he's not invested in this relationship, right? And Chelsea, you're clingy. You're a liar and you're clingy. It is what it is. He's not a good fit for you. He don't treat you right, but this is the prize that you wanted. This is the prize that you wanted. So girl, go. Britt and Kenneth, we don't meet their family because Kenneth left and his friend came and picked him up. Amy and John, they're pretty much normal. The only thing weird about them is the whole condom thing, but they got it. Laura and Jeremy, we talked about her family and how they are just like something in the water ain't clean. Something in the water ain't clean. Get her out of here. But let's get back to AD and Clay. I don't think that Clay's mama knew that Clay told us all of her damn business. Because this mom sat up there talking about how she's had a successful marriage for 23 years. And I'm just like, well, that's not what Clay said, mama. That's not what Clay said. Y'all should take advice from me, because I've had a successful marriage for 23 years. I mean, I did something right. No, you didn't. Not according to Clay. Not according to his daddy. I don't think she knew. I don't think she knew that her son been telling her business from jump. I don't think she knew. I think she's watching this show just finding out things about her marriage that she never knew. So she's up here giving this advice, talking about a successful relationship for 23 years. And AD is looking at her like, girl, I'm not listening to you. I'm not listening to you. And let me tell you something. The fact that Clay disrespected AD in front of his mama let me know everything that I needed to. He talked about how she don't have no job. She don't work. She don't have a real job. She don't know what work means. She wants me to be around her all the time. She needs to understand that if I'm going to have to be gone from my job for 2 days, she just needs to understand that that's what I have to do to provide for us. She don't get it. Talking down to this woman in front of your mom who's uncomfortable because she can't say nothing to you and calm her grown adult son down. What the hell is that? What the hell is that? You don't have no respect for the coochie you came out of. So what the hell you think he gonna do to you, AD? What the hell? What kind of relationship you think he gonna have with you? And this is the relationship he had with his mama. He don't respect her and he don't like her because his daddy cheated on her and she accepted it. Girl, get out of that situation. Get out of that situation. He look at his mama like a fool. And that's how he's looking at you, because he has told you that he is going to cheat on you. He has told you that he is going to take his children to cheat on you. He has let you know what your future is going to be. And you're still standing there like a dummy, like his mama. He has let you know the game plan. He has given you the future. He has been an oracle. Okay. He has robbed the crystal ball. And he has let you know what your life is going to be. And you are still sitting there smiling because he got a nice kitchen. Not Matthew being a better choice. Girl, get out of this situation. He's like, oh, I'm just afraid that I'm going to cheat. He's not afraid. He's telling you what's going to happen. He's giving you the performance. He's giving you the performance. He's letting you know that when he cheats, he's going to feel bad. Oh, it's in my DNA. I got the cheating gene from my daddy. He's letting you know what it is, mama. You gotta wake up. You gotta, he's letting you know what it is. You gotta wake up. You gotta wake up. Get out of this situation. Get out of this situation. My God, today, I feel like you're going to say yes. And I feel like he's going to say yes. Why? Because he wants a family. That's the thing. See, this is Clay's trauma, right? He wants to be better than his father, right? But he also wants to leave space to fail like his father. So he wants to have a relationship, he wants to be married, and he wants to have kids to show that he's not his dad. But he also wants to give AD the blueprint just in case he becomes just like his daddy. So he has a safety, a little safety net just in case. So he's preparing her just in case when he's on those 2-day trips during Lord knows what with this damn job. And he falls into some foreign coochie. He's trying to let her know that this I struggled, but I failed you. But I'm going to be good. You just have to mother me. You just have to nurture me. You have to love me because I'm your baby. You should have left him when you saw how he ate that soup when y'all was on vacation. You were disgusted by the way that man ate that soup. That's how he gonna lead your life, girl. Sloppy. Get out of that situation. Get out of that situation. That's all I want to say about these couples. What do you guys have to say? Let's get into it. It's 1:41. We're going to talk for about 20 minutes and I'm going to let y'all go. Oh my God, we got 1,000 comments. Yikes. Yikes. DGF, thank you so much for the super sticker. Thank you. Let's get into the comments. I'm going to jump around because there's like 1,000 comments in here that I have to get to. So, give me grace like AD give Clay. Nobody knows me. Oof. Yikes. Y'all love is blind. My God, today. Sasha said this season was insufferable, but it's still good. It's a mess. It's messy. It's messy good reality TV. Love Like You Are said, Kenneth cannot be the same age as me. I refuse to acknowledge that. He does. He does. He's given Marine. He's given Marine. Very young, but the church ages you. The church will age you. My God, today, the church will age you. They're just trying to give us a good show at this point. They're just trying to give a good show. They're just trying to give a good show. Elise said, y'all, please keep us Elder Gen Z in your prayers. We never know peace. We will. We will. Drewski said, girl, I've only been following along via Kenny, but the most interesting drama has been exposed after the show on social media. Wow. Yeah, it's a lot coming out, but it's people who are in their lives. Like Jeremy's mama, Jeremy's ex-girlfriend's mama or ex-fiance's mama shared a picture of them from Christmas. From Christmas. This man was hugged up with her and her kids on Christmas. What is happening? What is happening? This is crazy. Some people said Matthew was so scary. Even if he was acting, he seemed like a buff American psycho. Absolutely. AD was eating it up. AD was eating it up. You really want to be alone with that man in a cornfield? I blame the parents. I blame the parents. Sasha said, I really believe that Amber was a production plant. Plus, they never showed her scenes. Yeah, something was up with her. Something was up. It did not make sense. It did not make sense at all. I was just like, you're about to this is the engagement part of the show. And you have been talking to this man for this entire process. He's been your only connection. And you like this is like right before the engagement. You have this conversation with AD and you go, yeah, well, I'm out. That's it. There's no rage. You didn't even have like a shutdown conversation with him. You didn't even confront him. You just left the process. You had a man the whole time. You had a man the whole time. And the H said, my question is, did Johnny not have sex with any of the other girlfriends? Were they all on birth control? That's what he was saying. And Amy was just like, I get that they're all on birth control. I'm not on birth control, but there are other ways for us to have sex. Really, really weird. Really, really weird. They're all the ladies are Risa Tisa. They all are. They all are. You know what? I saw her recently on TikTok. She fixed it. She got a nice little closure. She got the eyelashes working. Y'all not gonna catch us slipping again. Y'all not gonna catch us slipping again. Y'all not gonna catch us slipping again. Way Girl said, I didn't like how everyone was sexualizing her and being disrespectful when they all met on the island. Oh, absolutely. They absolutely treated her terribly. The church will do that to you. The church will do that to you. You think so? Elise, she said she's never dated anybody non-black. All of the men she's dated have been black. Yeah. So like when she was talking to Matthew, she said she's never dated outside of her race. I believe her. She's a cheerleader. I think she's used to dating black football players, like black athletes. I think to be honest with you, I think that's AD's perfect match, a black athlete. Sasha said, I'm sorry, but the women, but not, I'm sorry, but the women this season, except AD, were oozing soccer mom and 3 kids. They look way older than their actual age. Chelsea, Amber, Brittany, and Laura, which is why I feel like everybody on the show was acting like something was off here. Like something just did not fully make sense. Bree Talks TV said Britney was giving Baptist church. It was absolutely giving conservative Hillsong. She made an Emmanuel Hudson asking all them questions reference. Yes, that's Britney's tea right there. Denise said, what you say about Britney is interesting. I thought she might have offended Kenneth. Really? Is it because she kept on saying, I identify as white and you identify as black? I'm like, why do you keep on saying that? There's nothing else you two can identify as. What is going on? What is going on? She absolutely isn't. That's why she's going after Jimmy. She is not used to losing, especially to a Chelsea. That's the only reason why she's still trying to pursue a relationship with Jimmy. She does not want him, but she cannot fathom the fact that a Chelsea got him over her. That's why she said that whole thing. You are going to lose it when you see how hot I am. Girl, bye. Girl, bye. Hey, Busala. What's up? What's up? Let me go down. Bree TV says, nah, we don't like Laura. She supported Jess going back for Jimmy. So that's what she gets with Sarah Ann. But still love her interrogation scene. Listen, I feel like somebody got to root for her. Her family ain't. The family is not into Laura at all. OMG, they were over her. Me too. He seemed like a good catch. I was like, Chelsea, he's the one. And I'm like, oh, he had a girlfriend too. Everybody was in relationships. I think you can. If the school needs it, You can. I know somebody who became a principal really fast, and they weren't teaching at their school for a long time, but a principal was needed and they fit the bill. Miss Gigi said the people said Kenneth is giving how you doing, but until he says it, I'm minding my business. Absolutely. Absolutely. C. Golden said, I've been shielding my husband from the tea being spilled about these people on social media. I don't think he can handle it. Oh, he's invested. The end of the age said, I never saw it for Trevor when he mentioned his favorite things and said all the things the woman will like, mentioning rom-coms and sunsets. I knew he was shady. Listen, this season could all just be plants. They could all just be actors, especially since Love is Blind is being sued by past cast members from seasons past. So they could have probably went the actor route. It would make sense, but who knows? Who knows? Because these men are nothing compared to the women on this show. Absolutely not. These men are not worth it. Not one of them. Not one of them. Spency said, I wish the reunion was ran by somebody messy. LOL. Nick and Vanessa are not going to clock the tea. Oh, we already know. We already know they're not going to give us anything. So, like, when I hop on here tomorrow, if I got time, we're just going to talk about stuff that I got off of TikTok, because Nick and Vanessa are never going to say anything. Period. Because what's going on, Kenneth? This reunion better get everything. We know they won't, but my God, today, we need to see something. We need to see something. NTR said people get on these shows and get married and not have sex because they can get it annulled. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that. It's weird. It's weird. I mean, absolutely, right? Then get a test. Like, I feel like if this is about to be your wife, you have to take these steps, especially if your partner is requiring intimacy because they want to know. That's an important part for her. She's like, I want to know basically that the sex is good before I say yes, which is smart. You know, I get it. STIs and STDs and STIs, absolutely. Let's get tested. And then let's go to a hotel. Like, what is happening here? The whole conversation was strange. And all the girlfriends that I had before had birth control. And I know as a man that I could get a vasectomy, but there's no but. You don't want to have kids. And you don't want to use condoms. Get a vasectomy. Because she's fine with a little sperm trickling down and having an oops baby. You don't want an oops baby. Get a vasectomy. Don't make that her problem. She want the kid. Now. Make it work. Make it work. Sarah said, Johnny being pushy about birth control is a red flag for me. If you're that worried, get clipped. I'm not damaging my body just because you want it. And that's exactly what she said. Mickey Mick said, Johnny is trying to play God here. It doesn't matter what you want. If a baby is meant to come out of that womb, it will come out. Amy, these are red flags, baby, run. None of these people should be getting married. None of these people should be getting married. C. Golden said, nah, he wants it raw. I believe he's been hitting everything raw, talking about he thought all women were on birth control. He been out there playing Russian roulette with his wiener. Sure was. Sure was. Like, he was really holed up on that baby thing. And I'm just like, get clipped, buddy. Get clipped. Oh, wait a minute. I saw something. CHG said Johnny's issue isn't about pregnancy. His issue is that he just came to be famous. That girlfriend back at the house has told him, do whatever, but don't come home with a baby. Yeah, I feel like he has somebody at home. That's the first thing she said to that man. I just can't wait to be submissive to a husband. What? Oh, girl. Oh, girl, I just can't wait to be submissive and have me and my kids submit to him. And I make dinner and I have me and my kids sitting at the table and nobody eats until Papa gets home. Because when Papa gets home, he gets the first meal because I serve my husband and I let my baby starve until my man eats. That's the kind of Christian wife I want to be. Yikes. Yikes, mama. Yeah, doing my part. I know Britney will be mad, but I'm doing my part. Like, come on, what kind of God you serve? What kind of God? That's what he wants from you, Britney. Ciao. Ciao. I want my man to lead my home. I don't want to make no decisions. Yikes. 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 Yes. Ryan said, like, no, you weren't born to service a man. Life is bigger than that. Have some other goals too. It's church. It's the church. That I'm telling you, if you were raised in a church, 24 is old. 24 is old. You should have 3 kids by now. That's the church mentality. I can't watch all of that. I tried. My sister was just like, have it on while you're doing background work. So I think I might give it a chance again. I'm trying to watch that and Dune before Dune 2 comes out, but I'm having like a really hard time. A really hard time. We survived, Ryan. We survived. She sure did. She sure did. Because she's dated Black religious men before, so she thought it was going to be a doozy. She just knew that it was just going to be so easy, but she didn't know about this one. And I also think she's the kind of white woman that is used to like Black men fawning over her, and I don't think she was able to like really handle the fact that this guy was not putting her on a pedestal. Like it was like trauma for her. It was mental trauma for her because that's not new for her. That's new for her. That's not the norm. That's not the norm. Nothing. They knew nothing about each other. It was all church. Praise and worship leader. Oh, I love going to church on Sundays. I love being submissive. Like the Lord said, I'm a Proverbs 31 woman. What are your interests? What are you attracted to? What are your icks? What do you desire in a marriage? Like, they didn't talk about anything. She was trying. She was trying. But I was like, girl, he don't identify. That's who he is. Like, you identify as a Black man, and I identify as the white woman. And our children, however they are going to identify, that's what they are going to be. What? No, baby. One might be passing, but all them other ones, when that summer tan hits, the world is going to let them know who they are. Like, let's stop this. Yep. Miss Swizzle, talk about it. Britney was so excited. She was getting herself a big Black man. I knew her bubble was going. Listen, I'm telling you, when Kenneth sat down next to her, I was just like, me and my sister were watching and we were just like, because it was so obvious he did not like her. It was so obvious he was not attracted to her. And then when he saw AD and Clay, it was like Black love. I was like, ooh, girl, yeah, you in trouble. You are in trouble. Britney likes to be gripped. She'd been gripped by a Black man before and she wanted to be gripped. And Kenneth was just like, nah, I'm not gripping you. I'm not gripping you, Miss Thing. I don't know. Like, this was the weirdest thing. Why did he waste that woman's time? Why did he waste her time? Like, Kenneth got to explain. I'm literally staying up because I need to know. I need to know why he wasted that woman's time like that. Exactly. Britney looks like how she sounds. Like, what was he expecting? Tina Marie? Like, come on. She looks like how she sounds. I don't know. I do not know. He just did not talk to her. Like the whole time he's sitting there. Oh, look, dolphins. So cool. Like, come on. He wasted that girl's time. He wasted that girl's time. I'm gonna be honest with you, Bree. When he took them twists out, he became a menace. He became a menace. He started filling himself with that little puff. I was like, Kenneth, who is this? Who is this? He has a lot of explaining to do. He has a lot of explaining to do. It was nasty. He did not, there was no reason for him to treat her like that. She was working so hard, and this man was rejecting her on every level for no reason whatsoever. It wasn't fair. That's it. That's it. It was not fair. I don't know if he had other options, but I know she was never an option for him. He wasted her time. NC said, I was livid when I saw online Caucasians and colorists blame AD. Yes. I'm like, did y'all see how he reacted when he saw her? He didn't like her. He did not like her. The Internet Age said he just enjoyed hanging with AD and Clay. I think Kenneth liked being around other Black people. So yeah, I think he definitely wanted a Black partner. I think so too. I think so too. I think the phone Flola was an excuse for him not to engage with Britney. That's what I think that was. At all. She gave him his out though, and he needs to apologize for throwing her under the bus like that and saying, well, AD said, no, this is how you feel. This is how you feel. Remove AD and stand on it. She wasn't. Like, who are you not asking your friends? You absolutely need to ask your friends that. Absolutely. Let me tell you something. My friend has been with her white partner since we were 15. I still check in. I'm like, girl, it's what news is he watching? Where is he getting his information from? She's like, it's okay, Nikki. He's fine. There's no fox on in my home. You know what I mean? You gotta check it. Are you okay? Let me know. And I let him in. I know him since I was a kid too. We met him at the same age. But I'm still checking in. Because I want to make sure my friend, her biracial babies are okay. This is America. Wake it up. Wake it up. Absolutely. Listen, they're looking for a reason to hate on AD because nobody expected for AD to be that girl. The only person who knew that AD was going to be that girl on this show is AD. AD, that's how mama walks in this world. Okay? AD is used to this. She's not new to this. She's true to this. Every woman on that show could not get herself together because every man was lusting after AD. Every man. They couldn't get themselves together. The audience was watching this, couldn't get themselves together. There were literally white girls on TikTok trying to make fun of AD's body to diminish the fact that their men were salivating over that woman. See, this is what Black women be trying to tell y'all. Y'all can say whatever y'all want. Y'all can talk about the features. Y'all can talk about the hair. Y'all can talk about the melanin. Y'all can, say whatever you want to say to try to make us feel small. But baby, at the beginning, middle, and the end of the day, we know who we are. You can't play me. You cannot trick me. We know who we are. We know. Kaboom! Guess who stepped in the room? Oh, we know. We them girls. You get shocked because you can't fathom, but we already know. What's gonna happen when we walk in that room? Ah! Whew! Black men so lucky we keep on paying attention to them because ciao. Um, Bree Talk said AG just seemed a bit hypocritical after being with Matthew. She didn't even come correct about them being interracial. I mean, she didn't go that far with Matthew to even have that kind of conversation. I mean, I would say she would be hypocritical if she ended up with Matthew and that wasn't a conversation. I feel like she would have had that conversation, but I just feel like it was just made a big deal, and I don't think that anything that she said was wrong. I think that everything she said was valid, and I didn't think that she said anything against Britney. She was just looking out for her friend, which is what we need to do. He absolutely did. I think, but the thing is, he was already thinking about it. He just got an out, and the out was AD. Absolutely, absolutely. Women are the influence in every culture, in every culture. Um, but I think just because you're in an interracial relationship, like even what AD said, you can, you can. What did she say? You can be pro-black and in an interracial relationship. I believe so, right? Um, you can, right? I don't think just because she was entertaining a white guy, she can't be like, "Are you okay?" Right? Like, is everything safe? Are you? Because I feel like the same would be asked of her, or she would be asking those questions as well. So I just don't think that she did anything wrong, in my opinion. Um, Probably she probably did talk to him in the pods about it. But I just, for me, I was like, I cannot believe that everybody was just like, how could AD do that? I'm like, are black people not having these conversations with their black friends in interracial relationships? Hell, me and my white friends was having that conversation with my black friend who got married to a white woman. We were like, listen, we all sat him down. This multicultural group sat this man down and was just like, okay, so this is what you're about to do for the rest of your life. Have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? Have you thought about this? Where are you going to live? How are you going to say this? You cannot leave the responsibility of rearing them children and raising the culture on her. You got to be active as well. We were all in it. My white friend was the one that called the meeting. He was like, I'm scared. We were like, he's going to be okay. He was like, well, I have some concerns. like, come on. America is a very scary place for black people. You have to have those conversations. Let me move on. I just missed that comment. Where is it? Because I wanted to talk about it. Where is the comment? Darn it. So, oh, here it is. I could not believe he turned that around on her. I could not believe he turned that around on her. Like, are you kidding me? Whoo! Eva Empathy said, I think Kenneth was disrespectful, and I find it interesting how she's defending. Oh, wait, is Britney defending Kenneth? If she is, gone. The church got her. The church got her. Sarah said, I was wondering if he expected a petite, blonde, blue-eyed woman, but he got Britney and said, you know what? I'm not into okay. I don't know. I do not know. I don't know who the hell he was expecting. But I'm just like, the voice matches the face. Like, what were you looking for, buddy? What were you looking for at all? That's why they're so tiny. That's why they're all so tiny. She should have fought him. I would have went in for the hug and started swinging. Like, are you kidding me? Give me, and then he gave her like a side hug. Ooh! Ooh! Because who the hell is this mentor that you're talking to at all times of the night? Child, Brittany, you needed some black girlfriends, child. You needed some black girlfriends. Yeah, because this ain't making sense. This ain't making sense. Not only was she sweet, she was invested. She put the work in. He gave her nothing. He gave her nothing. He has to explain himself. He has to explain himself. Um, Yikes. I watched that and I was like, ooh, yeah, I need a break from that too. Yikes. Yikes. You don't want my time, my affection, or my coochie? Oh, just throw me away. Just like, I would have been messed up. I would have been messed up. Um, I can see it. I can see it. I can see it. She knew. Oh, she knew. Some people say that I look like I don't know what is Megan Fox. Jimmy was like, Megan. If Netflix is smart, they would bring Megan Fox on a reunion. They would bring Megan Fox to the reunion. Very insecure. Very insecure. And the NNA said Chelsea wanted to win once she saw who she, yep. Yep. They don't want Jimmy. Neither one of them want Jimmy. They just want to beat the other. Jessica can't believe that she lost to Chelsea, and Chelsea cannot believe that she beat Jessica. That's exactly what that is. That's exactly what that is. That's the thing. He would have been with Jessica had she not had a child. And when Jessica said that my child is my priority, he was checked out. But I will say, Jessica said my child is my priority, and then left the pods and took a week break. I was like, you ain't gonna see your kid right away. Child, let me mind my business. I was like, you were crying in the pods about how much you miss her. And then you didn't go see her for like a week. You took a vacation. Girl, what? Oh, child. It's not about him. It's about beating Chelsea. That's all that is. That's all that is. Yep. Chelsea don't want him, but she's like, I beat Jessica. I beat the real Megan Fox. Like that's her thing. That's her thing. NTR said Chelsea should work in sales. She created desire and scarcity for herself and got the sale. Too bad it was a case of what I ordered. Ciao. Ciao. Denise said Chelsea is paying for that ego stroke. Now she's struggling since she can't live up to the Megan. Yep. And she's doing everything that she can. Everything that she can to keep that man. And it is not working. Sarah said at first Chelsea not choosing Trevor seemed like a mistake, but knowing what we know, she dodged that Trevor bullet so quick. She sure did. She sure did. Spencer said Jimmy calling Chelsea clingy and he didn't want to sleep with her made me shook. The audacity. This is the thing. Jimmy don't like her. And my problem with him is you know that she desires to be with you and you're having sex with this woman, knowing that you don't want to have sex with her, but doing it because, you know, your little Jimmy is erect, right? You know that you are misleading this woman. So why are you still having sex with her? And then to come back after your little argument and say, "Oh no, don't cut that off. I do want to have sex. I was just upset at saying that." You don't. You're not attracted to her. You're not. But it's, you know, for you, Chelsea's hold is better than your hand. So you are using her for your own sexual desires, confusing her And then when you get to this process, the end of this process, it is going to be very easy for you to throw her away. But you have spent so much time entering this woman, confusing this woman, and now you're just going to dump her because that's what he's going to do. That's what he's going to do. But then on Chelsea's end, you didn't want this guy. And now you're trying to hold on to him because you know that now he's seen and will see your competition. Ah, Chelsea, please. It's so big. Yeah, it hurt. Ugh. Girl, what? Stop the cap. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Yeah, we don't want to stop doing that. Megan Fox would never. Megan Fox would never. At all. He looked right at the camera. He looked right at the camera, and that was right. I know he looked right at the producers and was just like, what the hell is this? What the hell? I'm telling you, a lot of people stay in these relationships because of their contract. Because of their contract. I forgot about that. I forgot about that because she was shipping for compliments because he was so hung up on AD. She was shipping for compliments, like trying to get a compliment out of this man. And he said, "You have nice big teeth." After saying that AD was stacked. And spent half the trip talking to her. Ciao. Ciao. When he said, "That's enough of that, wrap that coochie up," girl, I'm telling you, I would have looked right at the camera and said, cut. Cut these damn cameras. I do not agree to this scene. Girl, bravo, 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 bravo. Absolutely not. I like how she was able to get back up from that and then invite that man back in. Girl, no. Girl, no. Girl, no. Sarah says she's definitely insecure, but he's also lying. He saw and he saw her and he knew he didn't really like her and he's lying about it, partially to look good. Again, also to not hurt her feelings. Absolutely. He doesn't want to look like a bad guy on TV, and I don't think he can get out of his contract. Or like I think he's trying to look like the good guy, but it's like we know you don't want her. We know you don't want her. But in his defense, she don't want him either. She's trying to make this thing work because she wants to be hugged up with him when she sees Jessica to say, "Look, I got him. Look." Sad. I don't think we will. I don't think we will. Because unless Johnny smashes Amy, it's not going to happen. Because Amy said, "I'm not marrying this man and I don't know what his stroke game is like." And I agree. I agree. Like, I don't know what I'm getting into. And the fact that he keeps on trying to wait, and it's not a religious reason, you know what I mean? Like, it's not the Lord told me to abstain. It's nothing. It's none of that. It's that you need to be on birth control. I would be very terrified. I would be like, something wrong. Something is wrong. And I'm not going to be your wife and then figure it out. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Aaliyah said also, all these men were with women who had kids. So I don't know why Jess felt the need to hide her daughter. Jess is a nutcase. We just have to be honest here. She's a nutcase. And I guarantee you, if we talk to that baby father, we'll find out why. Like, Jess is a woman who relies on her looks, right? Didn't have much personality or to do much, right? She absolutely gives Mean Girl. She absolutely gives I'll be kept in any situation. Just as long as you're able to take care of me, I am fine, right? There's a lot going on there. The reason why she's available is not the reason why a lot of other women are available. Jess is available because something is up. Something, it ain't the daughter. It ain't the daughter. Honestly, I don't even feel like it's a situation where she's with her daughter all the time, right? I think that there's a shared custody situation. And I wouldn't be surprised if the dad is like, I have her the majority of the time. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But there's something about how she let out on this show. And then her actions after she left the pod was not adding up to what she was saying on the show. So we'll see. We will see. Um, yeah, all the women when the like Laura and AD, they saw that how those men was living, and they were like, "Oh, I'm locked in. I'm locked in. I ain't even gonna hold you. At my big age, a man with a nice house, dated a dude with a condo. I was locked in. That view in that kitchen was nice. I saw myself in it. I saw myself in it and that jacuzzi tub. It happens. It happens. It happens. It happens. In training, I feel like she's already there. Good detective work though, but I think she's already there. Yeah, she doesn't. Like Laura doesn't want to be married, right? She also doesn't want to work. You know what I mean? And the family does not want to take care of her. So somebody has to take care of her, and it's going to have to be a Jeremy. Yeah, they don't want to deal with it anymore. The dad doesn't want to take care of her. The mom doesn't want to be bothered. The sister is tired. Like, she's a lot. That's what everybody was talking about. Denise said Sarah Ann filmed that TikTok from Jeremy's house, talking about only 2 people know what happened that night. Girl. Shauna said his house looks so staged with me with the gold silverware and measuring cups. I wasn't buying it. It wasn't giving Airbnb, but it was giving a family member came over and helped to make it look interesting. She let that man talk, and he just fell right into her trap. I wouldn't necessarily as January 6th from her, but I feel like she would agree to anything. Just as long as the man is paying for everything, she doesn't care. Because her thing is, if she was like, I'm more conservative, and then Jeremy was just like, well, I'm not. And she's like, that's fine. Who's ever taking care of her, she will agree. Yep. She did the work. Mama already knew the tea. Mama already knew the tea. Yvette said, had to sub. I have watched every season of the show. It's nice to see it being covered by CC's. What's that? Colored? Sarah says Sarah Ann is like the girl who's on TikTok posting, I may not be the prettiest or the smartest. Yes. Yes. That's the thing. It's not family values. That she doesn't care. It's whoever will take care of her, whoever will pay for the lip fillers, whoever will pay for the Botox, whoever, will pay for the mommy makeover. What she'll do, whatever. Just make sure you can take care of her financially. This is Alabaster Portia. Like the minute you're struggling, she's out. She's out. And that's why Jeremy chose Laura, because he was just like, this is going to, Sarah Ann is going to be a lot of work. She's going to be a lot of work. Shannon said, but also Laura encouraging Jessica to do the same thing Sarah Ann was doing is very sus. And that's why I backfired on her. You can't win when you play dirty. You can't win when you play dirty. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I think black women, black girls have a childhood span of like 4 years. The minute our body takes any kind of form, it's over. It's over. Everybody sexualized her. Nobody protected her. She had to protect herself. She had to protect herself. Um, Nobody was expecting that. When she turned around to show that man her butt, I was like, AD, what the hell is happening? You see it. It's Jimmy. You're engaged. Nobody on this show respected the engagements. Nobody. Nobody. Girl was gone. I need her to stand up. I need her to stand up. Shanae said, Nikki, I feel the same way about representation. Like, leave us alone and go on right. So, yeah, I'm done. Cut the cameras. I'm done. OMG. Deborah said, Clay infantilizes himself. It's so weird. He said he's a baby several times. He wants to be mothered. Yep. And she went right for it. She went right for it, holding him like he's a newborn. It's giving baby boy. It's giving baby girl. It's giving baby boy. She is. Like, even outside of her body, like, it's your personality. Everybody, I need her to realize she's that girl, body or not. Like, the body is extra, but you're that girl. You walk in the room, everybody's looking at you. All the men are gravitating to you. All the men light up when they speak to you. You're that girl. You're that girl. And it ain't just the butt. Hey, Marsha. Wagwan. What's up? What's up? Which is even scarier. Which lets me know that this woman is picking like this because she's in her early 30s. That's the only reason. I feel like if she was 36, neither Matthew or Clay would have gotten any play. Them early 30s are dangerous. The white women were like, really? The white woman and the black girls were like, girl, what? Matthew, he's scaring us. How are you attracted to him? Early 30s. Early 30s. Yeah, he was. He was absolutely playing the character. From Silence of the Lambs. Scary. That America stuff, I was like, absolutely not. America's watching me. And they want me to win. America loves an underdog. I'm terrified. I don't know what in a January 6th serial killer is happening here. AD, run. I could not believe that she was entertaining this guy. I was so scared for her. So scared for her. I didn't want to see him on the show, so I'm glad he didn't propose. I'm glad he didn't propose. I did not want to see him on the show at all. Spency said Clay has his moments where I like him, and then he starts talking about cheating as if it's inherited because he's performing. I think Clay wants to be a good guy, right? But I don't think that he believes that he could be, and I don't think that he's ever been. So I honestly felt like on the show he was performing this character the whole time. What's up, AD? How you doing, AD? Like it was just, it felt like a performance to me. It really, really did. The only time I felt like I really saw Clay was when he was talking to his mom and his sister. That's the only time I really saw him. And when I saw him in that conversation, he had so much resentment towards his mother. I was like, AD, get your purse and leave. If this is the relationship he has with his mom, what in the hell kind of relationship do you expect for him to have with you? Girl. Oh, he does? Samuela said that Clay owns a ski and boat rental company. Oh, that's good. He has to be away for 2 days to do that? Okay. NC said, I'll give credit where credit's due. Laura ate that scene with Jeremy. But wasn't she low-key encouraging just to make it go for Jimmy when they went out for drinks? It's a bit hypocritical. Absolutely. Ricochet back, didn't it? Ricochet back. Listen, she did that because she didn't know NTR. She didn't know her son told all her business. She didn't know that. Oh, Marga, thank you so much for the Cash App. Thank you. You're so sweet. You're so sweet. We're going over, and I don't want to get to 3 hours, so let me get a couple more comments. I wanted to get as many as I can because there were 1,000 in here when I started. So let me get a couple more, and then I'm gonna let y'all go. Let me get this super chat from Hair Goddess Chicago. Hey, said we got a lot to talk about. Come on in the room. Love is Blind. This season was everything. It was a good season. It was a season of mess. I'll give them that. Thank you so much for the super chat. There we go. There we go. Talking about Clay. Some people said, why is Jimmy such a prize? Honestly, he's not the only white guy there. He looks like he would enjoy what? Ricka? What? Well, Jimmy is not the prize. He's the prize because he's what two women who think they're better than the other are fighting to get. It could have been anybody. It could have been anybody. Sarah said Eddie was definitely enjoying the attention from Jimmy. That bean dip stuff was offensive. Eddie enjoys attention. What woman wouldn't? Let's be real. You know what I mean? You walk into the room, everybody gagging over you. That's gonna do a little something to you, right? But I felt like she was doing too much for Jimmy. I was like, girl, what's happening? What's happening? Yes, and she stepped in and took over because she saw Clay getting upset over feeling disrespected, not because Clay was upset because she was disrespected. Girl. Bettina said Megan Fox, not Chelsea, was jealous Jimmy. Megan, not Fox, Chelsea was jealous Jimmy was ogling AD, but tried to pass it off as a cool fiance that can joke as her fiance checks out another woman when all it did was make her feel more insecure. Absolutely. That's why she had a whole breakdown. And I think isn't that when they had sex? I think that's the night that they had sex because he needed to make her feel special because he was ogling AD. No shade. He was probably thinking about AD when he was back. Chelsea! Has he ever slipped up and called you AD? Because I remember in the confessionals, he called you Jessica. Ciao. Ciao. Okay. I thought that bean dip meant flip her titty. Hope it don't mean something even more horrific. Isn't it a titty flip? Yeah. That's sick. That's sick. That's sick. Whitney says, say it louder, Nikki. Clay has a very warped idea of what a good man or father is, and if he doesn't get that straight, he is doomed to repeat the sins of his father. He should run to counseling. Absolutely. But his counseling is in a woman. That's what he runs to. Same thing his daddy does. Right? He still has not said that. He treats her like a buddy. Guys, he still has not proposed to her. You want to rock out with me? That was his proposal. He has no intention of marrying that woman. None. Oh, everybody has banged on this show except for Amy and Johnny. Everybody is having sex. And it's like so crazy. I'm like, I know this is an experiment, but you guys are like literally having sex with strangers. Y'all don't know each other. It's crazy. It is crazy. Um yep. Kim said when people tell you who they are, believe them. Believe them. Let's get three more and let's go home. Cordelia said, someone on another chat said that Kenneth, knowing she is white and experiencing her whiteness is two different. Ooh, you know what? That would hold some weight if he experienced her. He didn't. Kenneth did not allow himself the opportunity to get to know Britney. He didn't. He shut her off immediately. He never gave her a chance. So that comment would make sense if he gave her a chance, but he never gave her a chance. Hey, Wanza, what's up? Thank you for being here. Oh my God, I'm so happy to see you. Thank you for being here. Yeah, but Kenneth, he never gave Britney a chance. He never did. He, poor girl. Poor girl. I mean, I don't know what he was expecting. She looks like her voice. She looks like her voice. I absolutely thought she was flirting with him. After you don't think when she said to him, let's do this more often. Let's keep this up. To somebody's fiance? Why are you saying it? Especially after he made the comment about your body. So you know there's a physical interest there from him. And you can, listen, woman to woman, not only do you know this physical interest because he expressed it and he said it and his fiance said it and he confirmed it. Then he walked over to you, left her, and spent the entire time talking to you. And not in like a friendship kind of way. You know, as a woman, you know what a man is flirting with you. You know when a man wants you, right? She still entertained that conversation with him. And before leaving him said, let's keep this up and let's do this more often. Do what exactly? AD was out of line. AD was out of line. It was out of line. Guys, I'm telling you, I feel like Bravo might rebrand as just Peacock. I feel like they might rebrand as just Peacock. I don't think this is another lawsuit. I don't think that Andy, I don't think he's going to keep that job much longer. That board is going to meet and they're going to replace him with somebody. My God, today. See, you can't be busting it up with the employees. Just Jonda said AD is a Black woman who lived and worked in Boston. She also got to know this religious white girl from North Carolina in the pods. Of course, she asked questions. Get the hell out of here. She asked the right questions. Like, come on. Becca G said when he turned it on her and said, you don't have to, the crave that's on you, I would have countered and said, do you have a crave for me? And watch him try to gaslight out of that one. Yeah, Britney didn't deserve that. She just didn't. Yikes. I'm so interested in this reunion. I got 1 hour and 20 minutes until this reunion. I am ready. Blue Jay said, I'm only here to stand with my girl AD. She's stacked. While not the greatest, I can understand, especially when she heard Bean Dip. That's probably the better compliment. It's the more tame version. The whole cast sexualized her. She didn't deserve that. And I hate that we have the hosts that we have because they're not going to address it. They're not going to address it. It's so fake. He's performing. It's a performance. He would, the minute he saw AD, he would have walked out. But he did not want to be the black man that walks out on a black woman on a reality TV show. He knew that it would have been bad for business. So he stayed. He stayed. And then he saw how other men looked at her, received her, and talked about her. And then that convinced him to stay. He didn't want her. He didn't want her. He still doesn't want her. But when he saw how other men were talking about his woman, oh, that piqued his interest. That piqued his interest. And then he saw that body. She deserves better. She deserved better. Wanan said that Jessica said on the Vow Files that Amy and Kenneth broke up before the breakup was filmed. The scene was, oh, Amy and Kenneth, you mean Britney? Why was she doing all that crying? Good job. It was acting. Ciao. It's a lot. It's got to happen tomorrow. Oh my goodness. A lot has got to happen. Hey Toya-Star, thank you for being here. I'm gonna watch it tonight. I don't know if it's on for you already. I think it comes on at midnight here. Maybe it's on now. I don't know. We can talk about it tomorrow. The local hair store, they had a bunch of these. And I was actually able to get it because the church mothers was in there picking them up. I was actually able to get this one. Thank God. Yes, me and Arnold, I'm trying to find a better time for Arnold. That's the thing with these things. Arnold is always booked and busy, and we're in a different time zone. So as soon as we can find a date, hopefully it'll be sometime this week. We're going to end here with Danielle. Danielle said, Nikki, are you going to do a live on Wendy Williams' documentary? I don't know if it'll be alive. The only reason why I said that is because I haven't watched it yet, and I've been avoiding it because it just feels so heavy. And I don't know if I want that to be a discussion or just a video where I express my thoughts and then we can have a discussion in the comments. I want to watch it and see how I feel after, and I'll decide then. Anyway, let me get out of here. I almost kept you guys for 3 hours. I apologize. We just had a lot to talk about. Yes, Toya-Star. We will absolutely continue to pray for her and her family. We had a lot to talk about, and I guess I'm back. We will see how this goes. I love you all. Thank you so much for sticking with me. I'm going to get out of here, put the timestamps in this video, and I think maybe in about a day or two, I'll just make it probably do a version of this video and maybe just edit out the chat for the people who just want to watch the review. I'm going to try that this week and see how that works. And thank you. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being here. I appreciate everybody who reached out to me after my last live. It's not easy having all these eyes on you, trying to say and do the right things because you don't want to offend. You don't want to start an argument, and you just want to literally get on here and have a good time. It gets difficult. It really, really does. But with an audience like this, I can get through it, and I've been able to do that. So thank you all so much for your support. I'll see you soon for something else. Bye, guys. Love you all. And if I can find this head rep online, I will absolutely put it in the comment section. Love you. Bye.